Welcome to In the Groove with Todd and Jackie, the podcast where good vibes meet great conversations and change makers take center stage.
Each week, we sit down with inspiring authors, impactful speakers, and visionary leaders who are making a difference in the world.
We're bringing you powerful insights, engaging stories, and actionable ideas to amplify your voice and spark meaningful change.
So get ready to get in the groove as we dive into conversations that uplift, inspire, and empower.
Now, here's Todd and Jackie.
Hey, it's another groovy day, and that's because we make it that way. Welcome to In the Groove with Todd and Jackie. I'm Todd.
And I'm Jackie, and this is the podcast where good vibes meet great conversations and change makers take center stage.
That's right. We're talking to people who want to expand their mission, their message, and maybe even monetize their business with their message.
That's right. And besides this podcast, we get in the groove through our quantum speaking coaching programs. These are for young people and adults alike, where they can work with me for a month, for 3 months, for a year, depending upon the stage they are aspiring to get on. But what we do is we help them to identify their unique signature talk, and then the audiences that need to hear it, and how they get on those stages in front of those audiences. And today we're actually going to be spotlighting one of those kids who's gone through our coaching. So what happened last weekend, Todd?
This past weekend, Jackie's buttons popped with pride watching one of her proteges give the opening remarks to NAMI. That's a conference for the National Alliance on Mental Illness at their Youth Mental Health Conference titled Still We Rise.
That's right. It took place at the Together Center in Redmond, Washington. And on our episode today, we're going to spotlight Tanushri Sriram. She's going to be sharing an interview that I conducted with her after her speech that morning. And if you don't believe it, she's already a TEDx speaker, and she's only 13 years old. Hello.
Imagine the confidence Tanushri has gained knowing her message and sharing it as eloquently as she does. Maybe you know someone who will benefit from this type of training and readiness.
So before you watch her interview with me, here's Tanushri's speech. Rise instead of retreat.
If you're like me, you've been in class, raised your hand feeling confident, and then realized your answer was wrong. You had risen out of your seat and then retreated back into it, wishing you could disappear. Anyone else? That feeling of wanting to shrink? I carried that with me the day I stood in front of a sign that said, Expedition Everest. Sounds ominous, right? It's a roller coaster at Disney World. 3 years ago, I stood in front of the entrance. Excited, but clueless. I don't like loop-de-loop rides. And if I'd known there was one at Expedition Everest, I never would have gotten on. But I did. The ride climbed higher and higher. You might even say we were rising. And still, we were rising. Then it suddenly stopped. Before it went backwards. My stomach dropped. My heart raced. But then something amazing happened. I started enjoying it. When it was over, I ran to go again. That day, I had unknowingly stepped out of my comfort zone, and I realized that fear had been keeping me from experiencing joy. Expedition Everest showed me something important. Sometimes You don't grow because you're ready. You grow because you go, even if it means going upside down. Sometimes fear pushes us forward, and sometimes it quietly talks us out of who we want to be. One day in Spanish class, my teacher announced we were going to have a scavenger hunt, Búsqueda del Tesoro, with Spanish vocabulary words. The game rules consisted of following clues in Spanish to find envelopes hidden around the school. For instance, under a chair, la silla, or behind a door, la puerta. You might find an envelope with your next hint in it. I thought it sounded really fun, excitante. That's when the friend standing next to me leaned over and whispered, "That's so cringe." For those of you who are not Gen Z or Gen Alpha, that means embarrassing, embarazosa. In that 1 second, I stopped thinking about what I thought and started worrying about how I would look. So instead of stepping forward, I stepped back. Instead of raising my hand, I kept it glued to my side. Not because I was scared of the game, but because I was scared of looking stupid. Estúpida. I didn't lose anything huge that day, but I did lose a small moment of joy. And when we lose enough small moments, we start to shrink without even noticing. That's when I learned overcoming fear doesn't automatically make you stronger. What you do with fear does. Fear can be a door you walk through or a wall you hide behind. Recently, I thought about going to a badminton summer camp, and I am really not athletic. Ask anyone who knows me. So, I asked myself 4 questions that you can use too. What's the worst that could happen if I do go to badminton camp? What's the worst that could happen if I don't? What's the best that could happen if I do go to badminton camp? What's the best that could happen if I don't? I decided that the worst that could happen if I do go to badminton camp was that I'd hate it. But the best that could happen was that I'd learn I was actually very athletic and that badminton was my game. Well, I still am not very athletic, but I do have much more stamina when playing sports. I am better at badminton, and my social skills improved because of all the friendships formed that week. So, when the worst possible outcome of any decision isn't permanent or harmful, try, because the best possible outcome might change your life. Raise your hand, go on the ride, play the sport, ask the question. Today isn't just about individual confidence, it's about community. Organizations like National Alliance on Mental Illness exist because no one is meant to face fear, anxiety, or overwhelm alone. This space matters. Advocacy matters. Education matters. Support matters. When we rise instead of retreat, we're not just building our own confidence, we become safer people for others to rise around. I didn't ride Expedition Everest because I was fearless, and I didn't skip the Spanish game because I was weak. Both moments taught me the same thing. Confidence isn't about not feeling fear. It's about choosing to rise anyway. So, when fear comes to you, rise over retreat. Because usually the best parts of your expedition in life are on the other side of fear.
Hey, do you know a young person who has something to say but just needs the confidence to say it? I think we all do. On May 9th, we're hosting Red X Youth Voices Summit. It's a full day of public speaking and leadership workshops for youth ages 10 and up. Many of these workshops will be facilitated by young people themselves. Red X stands for Real, Empowered, Dynamic. And that's exactly what we want young voices to become. In the morning, students are going to build confidence, practice communication skills, and learn how to speak with power and authenticity. Then in the afternoon, our high achievers take the stage with three exciting competitions: motivational speaking, impromptu speaking, and debate, where you will compete with your team. Competitors can register for the full day experience, including workshops and lunch. And parents, teachers, coaches, and friends are welcome to attend and cheer them on. But seating is limited, so register soon if you'd like to compete or simply be a spectator. And if you are interested in being a sponsor for a part of our day, we'd love to hear from you as well and support the nonprofit, the Speak Feed Lead Project, who is hosting this big event. So join us and watch young people become real, empowered, and dynamic speakers. Hey everybody, I am here with Tanushri Sriram. She just gave the opening remarks at the NAMI Youth Mental Health Conference. NAMI is the National Alliance of Mental Illness. And although she's given a TEDx talk, this is Tanushri's first keynote speech or keynote-like speech. So I want to just chat with her for a second. How are you feeling right now that it's over?
Well, I feel really good, and I'm really proud of myself for giving my first keynote type speech.
What did you do to prepare for a message to this particular audience, which consists of young people and their parents and teachers and supporters and things
Well,
like
I
that?
tried to make it relatable because I didn't want to do something that no one else really relates to, no one else can really connect to. So I tried to do a simple example, like raising your hand and being excited to share your answer, and then it's wrong because it's like that feeling of losing hope, or
Right.
not necessarily losing hope, but feeling embarrassed or humiliated that everyone has gone through at least once in their life.
Yeah, it's that feeling of being silenced and it's safer to not say anything than to say something and be embarrassed by it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that that's pretty common then for people your age? Which, are you 14?
I'm 13.
You're 13?
Yeah,
Is that pretty common for 13-year-olds?
Yeah, I'd say it's really common. Like a lot of people, even if they know the answer, they're like, wait, but what if it's wrong? And then they overthink it, so they just don't say it. And then it ends up being right. And then they just were like, oh, I could have said it, but then they didn't.
So what would you say the lesson for them is? What do they need to do instead of keep that hand
have
down?
some confidence, because even if your answer is wrong, in reality, who cares? It's okay. It's not the end of the world. And you're going to wake up the next day, you're still going to rise, and you're going to do it again. You'll give a right answer. It's okay.
Good. And you referenced the theme of today's conference, which is Still We Rise.
Mm-hmm.
So your speech had components about that in it.
Yes.
Can you give an example about how you referenced Still We Rise in your presentation today?
Well, I did it in my story of Expedition Everest, where the ride, it was rising and it was rising, which kind of relates to the theme of Still We Rise. That's how I referenced it. And I referenced it in the part where it was, I believe, it was in the ending part. I referenced it somewhere in there. I can't exactly remember when. My mind is there's a lot of things going on, but it was somewhere in the end.
Yeah. Okay, so you're a speaker now. You can clearly say, I've given a TEDx speech and I've given a keynote speech, and yet you're still only 13.
Yes.
So what does it mean for you to have been able to stand on a stage and speak out so powerfully at this age? Because it's not something that most 13-year-olds are doing.
It makes me feel really good, and it makes me feel more heard, I can spread my thoughts, and like things I've learned throughout my life, even though I haven't lived that long, like things I've learned so far.
Well, I got to tell you that the speaker that came right after you referenced a couple of things you said in your talk. That makes you an even more powerful speaker than you thought, because when someone quotes you or makes reference to something you did or said, that puts you at a whole nother level of credibility. So when you heard him say that, did that make you feel?
Yeah, it did. It made me feel really good. I felt like a swell of confidence and like a slight bit of ego, a little bit.
Well, you deserve it.
A little bit.
You earned that, and you deserve that.
Thank you.
But I think for me, it helps me realize when I tell people that being able to speak out is, yes, it's powerful, but you don't know who you're actually going to reach. You don't always know who you're touching, but I have found that there's always somebody in that audience that is going to be inspired by something you say.
Yes.
So that's a big thing, but the smaller thing sometimes is just that somebody heard me.
Yeah.
You know, somebody actually heard what I said and they found it valuable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what does it feel like when you tell us that, when I heard him say that about me, it was like, well, yeah, my ego exploded a little bit. So what responsibility do you have to help other people have that sort of feeling of value from you?
I think really put like emotion into my speeches to like really connect with the audience, not just like, oh yes, I read a roller coaster, blah blah blah. I need to actually like make it sound. I need to internalize it, kind of put like emotion into it, so I can like reach the audience. They can connect with me.
I love that, because it's let me reiterate. I think what you're saying is that when we want the audience to feel something, we need to feel it too.
Yes, that's
right.
Exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because that gives that energy we've got inside. It lets it sort of spread out, and then they feel it too. Even though their experience might be different from ours, we all have the same emotions.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so is that hard for a speaker to do, to get back to that place of feeling when you're on the stage and everybody's looking at you?
Well, it's a little nerve-wracking, but I would say it's not too hard because you've gone through it, so it's just like reliving it again.
Yeah. Cool. I like that. I know that some speakers are afraid to get too emotional because they think, maybe I'll start sobbing.
Yeah.
And I won't be able to stop, and there's all these people looking at me, right? But there is a way to have the confidence to share something that is deeply emotional and still control it so that the audience gets the inspiration from it. So what do you want to do from here? What do you think would be the next exciting place to speak?
I definitely want to maybe go on, well, actually, I really do want to go on bigger stages. And I really do want to continue spreading my message. I don't just want to stop here. I want to continue.
Well, I'm happy to be part of that journey to figure out where we go next. And the opportunity to do this today kind of came by accident, sort of, because Tanushri and I were working on a workshop that she was going to collaborate with a couple of other speakers for this event. And we created it, we talked about it, and then we submitted this proposal. Well, so the people, the powers that be, that got the proposal and said, oh yeah, this looks pretty cool, but we want Tanushri. I mean, they pulled her literally out of this group of 3 girls to speak, do a workshop, and said, we want her to do the opening remarks of our conference.
Yeah.
And so I think the lesson there, and tell me what your lesson is in this, but my lesson is that when you're prepared, opportunities come. And when those opportunities come, you can say yes, even if it's not what you thought you were applying for, or what you wanted to do, or what you thought you could do. When you're ready with a message, you can pretty much take it anywhere.
That was basically what I thought the lesson was too. I was prepared already. I thought I just had to kind of shape the speech into something that kind of matched this more. But I was ready. I was prepared.
Yeah. So what advice would you want to give to someone your age, or a little younger or older? I think you have a little sister.
Yeah.
So what would your advice be to someone else about how why they should speak.
You should speak because you have an important message like within you. Even if you think it's not important to someone else in that audience, it is going to be important. So you should still speak it. You should still say it because you're going to connect with someone and that might actually just change their life.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so
Thank
glad
you.
that I know you. And I'm
Thank
glad
you.
that
I'm glad too.
that we've been able to work together and I want you to know that your speech is so powerful.
Thank you.
Well, the speech you get today, but generally your message you've got, and it's just from your life's experience,
Yeah.
right? It's not like anything earth-shattering. It's not like
Yeah.
you saved a baby from a burning building or anything.
Yeah.
It's just that you learned simple lessons in life that now, in a message to people,
Yeah.
you can inspire them. So.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
No
for
problem.
doing this today
Yeah.
and for standing up there so courageously and
Mhm.
presenting
Thank
such
you.
an amazing message for
Thank
everybody
you.
there.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Wasn't that cool? We hope you enjoyed the episode as we spotlighted the amazing talent of a young person. Please share our podcast with friends and help us spotlight more talent.
That's right.
Lastly, please, please, please make it a great day because it is all about choice and choose to get involved in your youth.
Bye for now, everybody.
Bye.
That's a wrap for this episode of In the Groove with Todd and Jackie, where good vibes meet great conversations and changemakers take center stage.
We hope you've been inspired by today's guest and are ready to bring more positivity, connection, and impact into your world.
If you love this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs a little groove in their life.
And don't forget to check us out on toddandjackie.com for more great conversations.
Until next time, keep shining, keep grooving, and keep making a difference.